Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on October 13, 2016. And they started off this show, well, with Eddie Edwards coming out there to talk about his world title victory from the week before. And I do have to go off and start off with this aspect of, you know, I didn't do a review last week because I didn't get to see the show. And the match, I did watch the match later. It was a good match. It really was. It was a thoroughly enjoyable match. But the aspect of Eddie Edwards beating Lashley clean, without help, a little bit far-fetched. Especially the way they built up Lashley. For it to be Eddie Edwards. I mean, they did this whole build for EC3 going into the world title match at Bound for Glory, only to have Lashley lose it the very next show. You know, Lashley defended there, and now he loses it the very next show. It just came off a little bit weird. But they have Eddie Edwards coming out there and, you know, and talking about the match last week, winning it, what it meant to him, and everything like that. Very, very good promo. Very good promo from Eddie Edwards, saying that he was going to be a fighting champion. Like whenever Lashley wants his rematch, boom, I'm going to give it to him. And of course, Lashley eventually comes out there. They start brawling, and what is it? Sorry, stumbling over my words here for a second. But and then eventually Lashley takes over, spearing Eddie Edwards, taking him out a little bit. It looked like he was going to take him out a little bit more, also calling for a ref. He wants his rematch right now. But it looks like he was going to take him out with a chair. And EC3 and Moose come out and make the save and chase him off. This plays up a little bit later on to go with everything, and I'll talk about that in a few moments. Because up next they had Aaron Rex going up against Jesse Goddard in a TNA Grand Championship match. It being for the title and everything in that sense. You know, for the period of time that I was watching the Grand Championship, or these particular matches in division, I was skeptical but still optimistic because it was a different style of seeing things. And then when they did the title match at Bound for Glory, it was 5-minute rounds for the championship match, and you figured, okay, that should be the standard for it. The other matches in there would be 3-minute rounds, while the championship matches would be 5-minute rounds. No, that's not the case, because if it's on TV, well, guess what? It is a 3-minute round for each round instead of a 5-minute round. So they are not going to keep consistency between a championship match and like what they did at Bound for Glory and what they're going to do here in the future to go along with everything. Though they did do one thing in this match that I liked, and I've been wanting to see them try to pull off in some way, shape, or form, was that one person goes down by 2 rounds and them having to frantically do something in that last round to win, and win by pinfall or submission. And Aaron Rex loses the first 2 rounds to the judges and everything in that sense. And he comes out, it looks like he's just going to go slow and methodical and everything. Like within a minute of the round, he gets Jesse Goddard out of the ring, and he does like a little bit of a heelish tactic by, it's like, I'm going to let you into the ring. And when he gets in the ring, just kicks him square in the like chest face area, and then hits him with his discus elbow to get the victory. So he kind of pulls off a little bit of a heelish tactic to win the match. I'm not a big fan of where they're going with everything on this. Obviously we'll have to see more when Aaron Rex talks. We know how the Aaron Rex / Damien Sandow talks and how he is on the microphone. He comes off a little bit better, and they're obviously showing something towards a potential heel turn, something in that sense here in the very near future. It's just an aspect of that aspect of them changing the rules of everything, and it's like they should have given it more importance to the fact that it's a championship match. It's just something that I feel like they should have kept it like a 5-minute round for the championship match as well. Like contenders matches would be 3-minute rounds or something in that sense. So not too big on the Grand Championship as of this moment. And we'll see how everything goes down the line here. Up next was Billy Corgan. He's flanked by, I forget his first name. I know the last name is O'Shea. You saw him a little bit earlier talking with the Tribunal, saying that they were like on the cutting block and they need to do something like to stand out in some way, shape, or form. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. But Billy Corgan's over there cutting a promo, and he's like in full like rock star fur coat, sunglasses, crazy hat, and everything. Smashing Pumpkins style stuff. And he starts talking about Bobby Lashley, what he did to Eddie Edwards, and he says not on his watch would he really allow somebody to just attack their champions like that. And he was like, boom, your automatic rematch is completely gone, and says that you'll be facing the winner of the main event. That person becomes a number one contender for the TNA World title. So Billy Corgan just takes away the entire automatic rematch clause from Bobby Lashley for what he had done. So what do you know? Inside of a wrestling promotion, you did something that you probably shouldn't have done. You ticked off somebody, and they take something. Continuity? Logic? This isn't wrestling. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is. It's just a different way of doing it. We'll see how they go about doing things in that sense. After this, you have pretty much a bunch of promos here, and I'm just going through everything because there is a lot of promos with it, especially after Billy Corgan's promo. You had a Hardy's promo with how they want to start the Broken Era after winning the tag team titles and everything in that sense. You also have a promo backstage with Ali and Maria, and they were talking about the no DQ match later that night, and I'll get into this maybe a little bit now, maybe a little bit later, I don't know, but it's a no DQ match between Gail Kim and Maria, and the aspect of the match is if Maria wins, she gets the Knockouts title, and she gets to keep the power as well. But if Gail wins, Maria's officially not the leader of the Knockouts anymore. The aspect behind the whole email thing was that everybody was pretty much banned from ringside, like Ali's banned, Sienna's banned, Lauren's banned, and everything. Everybody's banned in that sense. So you get a promo a little bit later on as well with Michael Bennett and Maria as well, saying that Michael Bennett's banned and everything in that sense. So it's a no DQ match. Yet people are banned from ringside. What's stopping them? Like, there's no... Like I said, where you get the continuity with what Billy Corgan did with Bobby Lashley for what he had done, you don't get it here because they just said they're banned from ringside. There's, like, no consequence, no anything. They're just banned from ringside. Even though it's a no DQ match. We'll get into that match in a little bit because... Up next, you had also had an in-ring segment with Broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero, or Jeff Hardy, in this sense, talking about the match from the Great War from Bound for Glory and everything in that sense. And Matt Hardy's just absolutely great during this entire thing. He keeps it seems like Jeff has fully resorted back to being normal Jeff, while Broken Matt Hardy is like still out there and completely crazy and everything in that sense. And he said he wanted to reintroduce more of his broken brilliance into the world, and says he's going to challenge the Bucks of Youth and the Day of New to an apocalypto match or something in that sense. Great. I just love the way that Broken Matt Hardy is, and it's still working for this period of time. So you're getting everybody doing like delete and obsolete chants and throughout the entire time, and then like the crowd starts chanting Brother Nero, and it's like, and Matt Hardy's just like, that is a delightful chant. Just I like the character. I really do. There's nothing more to say other than I really like this character and how Matt has reinvented himself throughout it. So what does this bring? Obviously, he eventually gets a premonition inside of the ring saying he has seen that their next opponents are going to be revealed tonight, and like right as they're about to leave, the tribunal hits the ring and they attack Broken Matt and Jeff Hardy and lay them both out. So it looks like that bit with O'Shea beforehand and the premonition or premonition, as Matt Hardy would probably say it, comes to fruition as the Tribunal look like they're going to be the next ones to go after the Broken Brothers, or the Broken Hardys, in this sense. So we'll see where everything goes with that one. At least they're giving both guys in the Tribunal something to do now, because it looked like they had just kind of gone on the away side and weren't going to be doing anything here, pretty much ever, after their bit with Al Snow and Muhammad Ali, Shira, and Grado. So we'll see where everything goes in that sense. Up next was Michael Bennett going up against Cody, just Cody, with Brandy Rhodes, in that sense. They have to just call him Cody because WWE has the trademark over Cody Rhodes, because that's not actually his real name, in that sense of everything. First of all, they had a great promo package, and like they've started this feud up at Bound for Glory, and it's like really quick that they're getting their first one-on-one match. It's like they hot-shotted this like really quickly into there, and they're also talking about this whole aspect that he gets a world title shot next week and everything to go along with it. I loved how Bennett played off of that. It's like he's just granted a world title match while I tried to I had to work to get mine and everything in that sense. Loved the stuff that they had put in there. The match with them, between both of them, was really good, but the only thing that really felt weird is that, again, I felt like they hot-shotted to their one-on-one match. Like, they could have done a few other things before they had a one-on-one match. Like, Cody has his first match in Impact Wrestling before they have the one-on-one match or something in that sense. Or they do a couple other things, but no. Boom, right to the match. And, like, no real other interactions with it. Other than what happened last week, which I don't think I've seen that, whatever they did last week, with that one to go along with it. But like I said, like 2 weeks afterwards, like you get your first one-on-one match with it, and it's like it just comes off as a little bit weird in that sense of everything. And also having a full-on clean victory to go along with it, with Cody winning the match, is also a little bit weird to go along with it as well. So it just came off. It was a good match. It really was. It was a good match, an enjoyable match. It's just like storyline-wise, like, did you have to hot-shot it so quickly to a clean finish and a one-on-one match so quickly? I mean, it doesn't end the feud by any stretch of the imagination, but usually they save that for periods of time down the road. But we'll see how they continue on with this feud here in the very near future. They also have a backstage segment with Lashley, EC3 and Moose after Lashley had a talk with Billy Corgan and everything in that sense, and Lashley notifies both of them that they're going to be the main event. The winner faces Lashley next week. So that does lead into the main event spot. I like how Lashley's still playing off as being completely arrogant in every sense of the word. Even though he doesn't have the world title, he's very confident he's just going to get it back and everything in that sense. I like where they're playing off with Lashley during this entire time as well. I forget the guy's first name. He was a new person coming into the X Division, and they put him over as like this a bigger guy going into the X Division. He still moves around quick. He does the style and everything to that. I know it. I forget the first name. I know the last name that he has for his ring name is Rocket. And he went up against DJZ after they did a promo package. Decent match, but really nothing in the end, because the guy really hasn't been seen all that much, if ever, on TNA Impact. And, the match that they put on was a decent match, and DJZ's got to show off some stuff. So did he as well. He showed off a very athletic side to him. And it was a decent match, but really nothing to it because there was no story build. And again, that's where the X Division is right now. It's just matches, no story build. At least with the Cruiserweight Division we're seeing on Raw now, though we're seeing just matches in some cases where they have 2 matches, but you're getting that story between like TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick and everything like that. So you're getting some kind of story build. You're not getting much of a story build on the X Division side. Up next was Maria going up against Gail Kim, with of course title versus the Power on the line. Not a bad no disqualification match, I'm not gonna lie. This was better than their match at Bound for Glory. Just straight up, with everything. It just came off a lot better. It didn't come off as just kind of playing off the aspect of, oh, Gail finally gets her hands on Maria or something in that sense. No, they kind of do a little bit back and forth with, of course, the usage of the weapons. The aspect of, at the end of the match, it's like Gail hits the eat defeat once, but what wasn't enough for her, so she gets the trash can lid and hits another eat defeat to get the victory. Played off a little bit better and played off towards that idea. It's just, again, this whole idea of it's a no DQ match and everybody from Maria's side is just banned from Ray's side. What's stopping them? What's really stopping them? Nothing was really, but overall good match, and they went with the aspect of this is that point in time that Maria's finally getting her upcomings for what she has done with the Knockouts division and everything in that sense. It came off rather well. I enjoyed the match. It was not a bad no disqualification match. And this leads into the main event of the night, which was Moose going up against EC3. Nothing really much to say here other than outside of that promo with Eli Drake and EC3 when EC3 was talking about the match, and now that you got this whole aspect of EC3 choke artist going in there, and that's what Eli Drake is saying is like, don't go out there and choke again like you did at Bound for Glory and everything in that sense. And of course, of course does he choke, but they have Moose go over here, and they're putting EC3's putting people over in a less epic way than what he once was. Like, it was one finisher this time. Though the in-ring action from both of them, trying to hit their finishers really quick in the match, and the multiple times that both of them reversed the finisher throughout the entire match, came off really good. I enjoyed the match, but this time it played off an aspect of who was going to hit their finisher first was going to win the match. And that's the sense that you got. Because they were countering it so many times that it was like, who hits their finisher first will get the victory. And Moose hits his finisher first, gets the victory. Of course, he and Lashley have a stare down to finish off the night. And we're finally getting that match with Bobby Lashley going up against Moose next week. Overall, this week's Impact was an okay show. It wasn't bad. Not by far one of the best ones, but there's stuff in there that I absolutely loved. Stuff in there that was kind of bad. Like, I'm not too keen on the Grand Championship now, mostly because of the aspect that it's like, oh, we had these tournament matches that were all 3-minute rounds, and then the championship match was a 5-minute rounds for all of them, and then back down to 3 minutes for the championship because it's on TV. Okay. On that sense. And a couple other things that just came off a little bit weird to go along with it. Like I said, I enjoyed the match with Michael Bennett and Cody. But still a little weird that you go with full-on clean finish, even though shenanigans with Maria happened during the match. But clean finish and their one-on-one match so quickly into the feud. Just felt a little weird, felt a little off. But overall, not a bad show. Not a bad show from Impact this week. And with that being said, this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling this week. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.